If you have a minute, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself. The first thing you need to understand is that I am alone. I've been alone for a pretty long time now. I'm used to it. I'm content. Before I became more or less a hermit, I found that I had two passions in life. One was performing. Even today, when I find I can't relate to others, I can still stand in front of them and make them laugh or surprise them. The irony is strong enough to taste. It doesn't taste good. In case you're wondering, my second passion was a girl named Catherine, but I'll get to that later. I generally face the same day-to-day problems as every other person, except that when every other person gets stuck, they have their friends and associates to back them up. I don't. I know you don't want to hear me describe my admittedly less than fascinating lifestyle, instead I'll describe the day with a much more interesting allegory. I used to find joy in the company of others. Now I only have the company of myself. My attention is stolen by a green square on the other end of the room. I want to be its friend more than anything that I've ever wanted. I decided to use the arrow keys to approach it. Okay, welcome everyone to the company of myself. Now this is a Flash game that was released a few years ago now, I think. But it has quite an interesting story and just kind of approach to atmosphere and bits and pieces like that. So I wanted to play through it for you guys. It gives me a chance to read out all the bits and pieces. So as you can see, we're a hermit in a top hat, which would be worse. The square does not react to my approach. Does it not notice me? Or is it only pretending not to notice me? Up close I can see that the green square is actually a door. I think that we can be friends anyway. I decide to push the spacebar to move on to the next room. Spotting a couple of platforms ahead, I decided to use the up arrow key to jump over them. So that's simple platforming. And take that, platforms! I decide that Mr. Door is a better friend than the platforms. I also note that I can pause the game by pressing P or the escape key. Okay. Now that risk is involved, jumping on platforms doesn't seem as easy to me, no. I start thinking about how awful it would be to fall, don't think that. Luckily I know that I can push the R key any time to restart the level. Presumably knit my shattered bones back together. I find myself proud of, and possibly surprised by, my ability to leap over harrowing gaps. Yeah, I don't think I would. Even from back here I can tell the ledge ahead is too high for me to jump. I begin to wonder what would happen if I pressed the spacebar before I completed the level. Aha, now we get to the first major mechanic, because look, I can interact with him, I think. Can I jump on his head? Yeah. So there's a kind of shadow mechanic. I feel confused and a bit tingly, but mostly just confused. Yeah, I think I would probably be a bit confused as well, to be honest. I briefly attempt to think of something to think. Nothing worthwhile emerges. I haven't talked to anyone lately, but at least I can solve my own problems. Yeah. So we need to make a chain of fat men to get up there. So, yeah, and you can get more and more going on, and it gets kind of ridiculous in later levels, I think. Because they can jump on my head as well. So it kind of changes your thinking a little bit, because you have to kind of plan in advance. I mean, there have been a couple of games that have done this. I know a couple of Flash games have done it. There was one about robots, I think they did it, I can't remember the name. And stuff like the Talos Principle was brought into modern day gaming and stuff. But I kind of like this one most, just because it fits with the theme of this guy's... But... Okay, I think I better just let them do their own thing. Whoop. Do I have to restart? Okay, I buggered that one up. So I think I'll just let them get to where they need to go before I start interfering. But yeah, I kind of like it because it kind of plays on the idea of this guy being completely alone. Because no one can solve his problems, so he has to solve them by himself, and he's generating these like little faceless clones of himself. And whatever happens, he's alone through it all. Even though he looks like he's with other people because he's with his own shadows, but no, he's a hermit, solving problems by himself. So this level's going to take a little bit of time to get through. But yeah, I think it's quite a beautiful game, I think, all round. I mean, it's got music by David Carney, who's done music for a couple of Flash games. I like One and One Story is another one he did, and that's a really nice soundtrack. He seems to be a master at doing kind of the piano-y, emotional soundtracks over everything else. Is that going to be enough now? I don't know if the last gap's going to need two. I'll stand on top of their heads and see if I can gauge the distance of my jump. Oh, that should be right? Yeah. It's green square time. Geronimo, indeed. I see a wall blocking the path to the exit. I am dissatisfied. This area below is irritatingly spacious. So we're quite the irritable hermit. Let's pull this lever by pressing the A key. Whoop. And then we go, because now my Shadow Man can do it. In your own time. There's a good chap. Help you pull it. Okay, please. There we go, thank you very much. I'm grateful of my above average ability to work alone. Come on, give yourself a bit more credit. I mean, this is amazing. I noticed a strange force field in this room. I've become gradually more and more curious. I find myself unable to comprehend the purpose of this force field. It doesn't seem to block me at all. But will it block my Shadow Man? Yeah, there you go, I told you. So, do I need to... I'm going to restart and get rid of that point in the Shadow Man. So do I need to get my Shadow Man down to the green square and he can end the level for me? Let's do that. And see if Mr. Shadow Man can get through there for me. There we go. Hey, so it's not just me that has to do it. It's greenish instead of pinkish. Oh, so I can't go through the green ones. So I need to kind of awkwardly run at the wall for a bit, and then my Shadow Man will carry that on. Go on, Mr. Shadow Man. Run, run where I cannot. Don't leave me, Mr. Shadow Man. Don't leave me. There we go. Staring at this wondrously large staircase, I reflect on my past struggles. Okay, so we can need to guide him through this, because this is the one that my Shadow Man can go through. Oh, because he can stand on the force field, but I can go through it. So I kind of need to... and restart that. So I kind of need to like imitate what my Shadow Man would do. Okay, and last jump. Then we'll run him right up to the edge. Have him press A. And then that should be it, right? Get out of the way. Go on, my Shadow. Do what I could not. Yes, he's doing it, he's doing it! Oh, it's a bit tight there, but it's fine. Hey, there we go, now go and press A, buddy. Do me proud. Did I? Yeah, I thought I moved him out of the way of the lever too much now. Luckily for me, no one's watching as I hopped around like a crazy person. Yeah. I search for reasons why I don't desire companionship. Oh, dude. I think we can use this because the shadow will stop on it, so I might be able to use it as a way of moving myself over by standing on my fancy hat. It's nice. I wonder what kind of hermit can afford this kind of thing. I guess being a hermit doesn't necessarily mean that you're poor, right? It's just someone who chooses to seclude themselves away from people. So maybe this bloke did have money. But money doesn't always buy happiness, as they say. Look at my hat clipping into the top of the ceiling there. I settle on avoidance of the issue. I can clearly get by without others anyway. I find myself unable to leave the question alone. Why can I not be with people? Oh, dude. I instantly notice how similar this room looks to the previous one. I almost feel cheated until I realise my previous tactic will not work again. It might. I just need to get my Shadow Man on top of my head, and so if I drop it down now, I will be on top of my... This will be me as a Shadow Man on top of... This is getting confusing, I'm sorry. It's going to be me as a Shadow Man on top of the guy's head, so I'm going to wait here for a little bit. As I don't know, if I walk will my Shadow Man fall off the top of my head? I will find out. And then I need to, at the end, jump and run forwards. And that should get me into the square. That's what I need to do, is stand here and wait for him to fall down on my head. Wait for Mr. Shadow Man to start rambling in his shadow voice, all the things that I just said. And if that doesn't work, I'll have to just run under him, or we'll run along. But I didn't have to run when I was on top of his head, did I? Oh. Alright, come on, there we go. Drop down. There we go. And now we position him here. And he should jump. when he's ready in his own time. He's too busy feeling a bit cheated in the shadow world. Come on. There we go. It doesn't take long for me to understand that I'm going to need some timing to get through here. Oh. Ugh. I'm going to need to do that. I see. So, I hope I left enough time there. I'm going to have to jump very jolly quick. Because my Shadow Man is not going to wait for me. Wait for it. Shit. This kid, it takes away the floor as well, so you have to kind of gauge right when he's about to do it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to pull the lever. So I kind of got a gauge of when I'm going to pull the lever. Although I kind of chuffed it up on that second one, so this will probably go tits up. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to pull the lever. See, what I've got to do is... Oh, balls, and then I balls up the jump. Right, so jump, pull lever. Jump, pull lever. Jump, pull lever. That gives me a kind of vague timing of when the lever's going to get pulled. Or I could just balls up the first jump. Oh my god, I've got the timing down. I just balls up everything else. Right, so relax, relax, relax. So you've got the timing down. All you need to do is go on a merry jaunt through a horrific death trap. Like, where is this supposed to be? Would ignore that one. And yeah, we got it. Oh no, you need to jump before he lands. Like about there. Because it will start disabling the floor as soon as you do it, so. There we go. Yes! I've gotten used to the idea of solving mental problems, but I still enjoy testing my physical abilities here and there, even if it leads to me falling to my death 50 times. I think back to the first day that Catherine and I met. Our paths converged and suddenly we were a team. This was before I was as reclusive as I have become today, so I had not learned to truly multitask yet. That talent grew out of simple necessity. Ooh. So if I press start, I get switched to Catherine now. Her approach was quiet, as was my response. The connection was instant and unmistakable. Team. So now we've got two people. Mutual. He's finally found someone who's not alone. And now we're working. Oh, this is why I love this game. It's simple puzzles like these that show that now that he's met someone, they're just working together in harmony. And it's even got the film grain thing, like a romanticised memory of it. I wasn't ready to let it go. And they both have to be together to end. When we were faced with a problem, we would solve it together. Today I find myself solving the same problems alone. I was underappreciative, plain and simple. Didn't understand just how much I needed her, how much she needed me. Together again. It was perfect, everything. It was all perfect. Oh, now I need someone to be up there, don't I? Oop. That didn't work, no. So if I get her up there. Wait. And then get him over here. She can pull that one. You can pull this one. I helped her and she helped me. Mutual. And there we go. We're both safely to the exit. For another day. I never ever suspected the end to come so quickly. Oh no. No, I know how this is gonna go. Oh, you can't jump on her head because she's not wearing a hat. Oh, I can already see what's coming. can already see what's coming. Oh dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I found myself crushed by guilt. I didn't leave the house for days. She was gone. And now I find myself alone. I can't handle talking to people anymore. Don't really know how to respond to that. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry all. Internally, I visualize an overexcited man yelling, "Checkpoint!" And once more, we go through it alone. I grudgingly consider how the ability to start over from a different perspective would have been helpful earlier in life. Maybe I could have let Catherine not meet me in the first place. And like this, I continue. Oh wait, no, I know what I need to do. Because the shadow men can't cross this, can they? So I need to kind of ferry them along, I guess. So, I just jump. That should get him to land on my head, right? And then I carpet him along. I'll leave him there. And then I need to do the same again, right? Oh no, wait. I need to do... Is that gonna work? One more, I think. Let's try that. Oh wait, they're not on my head. Oops. Okay. Should I fuck that up, I think. I kind of need to get them to land on my head. And that's what they're not doing, they're landing on this guy's head down here. Shit, I fucked up again, I think. Yeah. Oh well. See what happens when we do that. You just end up with a load of people standing on one guy's head. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to. I'm going to restart this. Alright, is that going to be enough for me to... Let's go one more, I think. Just one more. Right. And then I can jump and they'll get off my head and maybe I'll be able to jump up and grab the green square. So just wait for that last one to jump up. We have our tower of hats going on here. Yeah, it should be more than enough for me to... Oh no, because they will collapse down. Oh, that's horrible. What happens if I... No, because he'll fall down the... Oh well. That'll just be one that falls down the... And down they go. Okay, so we need more. And like this, I continue. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting our tail going on there. It was going well. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go one more, I think, then we'll get the chain over. 1, 2, 3, 4 for good measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's just one more that's got to go on, right? Here he goes. And there's 6. Go on, lads. My mini me's. That should be enough to push one in, yeah. There are many me's. What? Don't leave yet. I have more to say. I really do. Wait, is there any way to... Maybe I can hop over on... Maybe I can't. Okay. I guess I kind of need to pop on my head as I jump over. Or just do that. I'm just going to create loads of these. May wonder why. Let's just try and create a big old platform of me's to hopefully hop over on. So you're getting further. I got infinite, so I might as well just create so many of me that people can't ignore me anymore. Can't ignore a hermit who looks like this, can you? There are too many of me, my voices are going to be too loud for you to ignore. Oh, that was perfect. Are you really leaving? I've been tasked with psychoanalyzing Jack after his mental breakdown. In general, he recalls his life very accurately. Things he says line up with all the records. First problem is that he doesn't seem to remember any of my visits. I've talked with him once a week for the past 8 years, and he always tells me the same things as if we've never met before. He describes himself as a loner, and this makes a whole lot of sense, as being kept in solitary confinement for the duration of his stay at the hospital. He always briefly talks about his life, and eventually gets into the story of how he lost a loved one, Catherine. He understands that she died, and he certainly feels at least somewhat responsible, but he doesn't recall that he murdered her. She was found buried in their backyard in a green package. Evident was the only box large enough for use as a coffin Jack could find. Also of note were the 2 flowers he planted next to the makeshift grave. He considers her death to be the reason he can't talk to people anymore. I suppose that in a way, he's correct. This will be my final report on Jack. I don't find any reason to believe that he will recover from his current state of severe mental illness, and he is far too dangerous to himself and others to allow his release. And the end. There we go. That's the company of myself. Short, sweet, and sad. Very special, yeah, and there's all the testers. I'll leave the credits running, as is proper and right to do. But yeah, it had a nice kind of puzzle element to it. The copying yourself thing, as I say, it's getting the rounds, but it feels a lot deeper in this one because it ties so neatly in with the plot. This guy's so desperate to cling to his own loneliness that he loses everything around him, that he's unaware that he murdered his wife. And that's kind of the final blow, that this guy that you really start feeling for, he's not a nice guy at the end at all. So it does quite a few gut punches, this game. The shrink leaves, and suddenly I don't even have a person to tell my story to anymore. If you want to play this game for yourselves, I'll put a link down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, please check out my other videos, and please spare a thought for those lonely around you. Goodbye.